Hello, my name is Rainey, and I'm going to go over power and conflict. So, the definition of power is the ability to manipulate, control, or influence people or events. Okay, some have more power than others. Everyone has power, we all use it to a certain level. Okay, so there's power in context specific. This is going to be ways that the power varies is how much influence that powerful person has on your life decisions. Power can be confined to certain realms or context. Settings or environments is a good example. And there's always that sphere of influence revolving around that power. Okay. Now, an example is a doctor can give you medical advice, but not financial or religious advice. Okay. Power is always present. This breaks down into two categories: symmetrical relationships and complementary relationships. Symmetrical is going to be the equal power between two people. This is most of the time two friends. And then the complementary relationship is not equal power because one has authority over the other. And this could be compromised if there's a power dynamic of a boss doing something unethical and you have to work for them. That could be an issue. And then we only disclose things to a friend that we don't tell our teachers or bosses. Another example of coming out of the symmetrical to the complementary. So it could change as a child grows up or a coworker getting promoted, then they come into that role of more authority or having authority over you. And then that's when it could, change over time. Okay, so power influences the communication. The balance of power in a relationship is how I think of this. So, the type of relationship you have influences the communication between the individuals, hence, formulating the three forms of command: one up, one down, and one across. So, one up definition: this is going to be someone that's dominant, someone being in control, they're being in charge of the relationship. And they are going to be sending those messages of commanding you, giving you commands of what to do. Okay. And the one down is going to be the submissive or acceptance communication. This is also going to be giving up control. This is going to be openness between both parties. An example of this would be, do you want to attend the Katy Perry concert? And a response being, yes, that sounds great if that's what you would like. And the next one is going to be the one across. And this one to me is the most important. Okay, it's neither dominant nor submissive. It's going to be a fact. It's going to be equal or no power. It is going to be something that neutralizes the relationship power. And it's going to help the situation, okay? If it needs to be de-escalated when conflict is at it, okay? An example of this, I think, is UCCS puts in great effort and budget to have an excellent sports program, okay? And they actually really do, okay? Okay, power can be positive and negative. So this is adding conflict determines if it's positive or negative. Two parties must agree on a power arrangement. A powerful person has to be accountable for the ways that they distribute their power. If they abuse their power, it causes resentment and dissatisfaction later on. And the book actually offers law enforcement and police officers as examples. And you can easily see on TV what's going on in our nation with bitterness and things that are coming up later from earlier, the abuse of power within the law enforcement. Okay. Now, you can have indirect or direct. This meaning or an example would be if you see your girlfriend or boyfriend and they're flirting with someone, they're getting messages, they're hanging out, having time with someone, then you could be upset and indirectly react by maybe not answering their calls or doing the same thing. Okay. Another conflict would be dorm behavior. So if someone is drinking, they're having relationships or smoking, doing things maybe illegal or things that you're not comfortable with because you have to get up and you have to get to class and you have to study, and this is a huge distraction. Are you going to respond? Are you going to approach this, and how will you? Another conflict is abortion. People have strong opinions and views on this, and unfortunately, people change their mind. Once you decide if you are for or against it, you may later change your mind if you're a woman and you are carrying the baby, or even if you're a male and you're the father, you could have second thoughts. Okay, so when this happens, how are you going to handle it? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? Okay. So when you experience the conflict, you have to have skills to avoid certain statements and to also utilize certain things in order to maintain the power and neutralize the situation. Okay? In conclusion, nothing is good or bad about power. Now, conflict does have a negative or positive outcome when we add it together. But if we exercise positivity when approaching the conflict with our communication and we neutralize the situation, we're going to have better outcomes. We will be more productive and successful later on. Thank you so much for your time.